Hello!
Hello, I'm Cathy.
I'm Rachel, and this is Lunabird Book Club. Today's video is another fan vs first time reader video, and I am very excited because it's my pick today and it's one of my favourite novels. It's The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is a romance novel that was published in 2016, and I found it based on the recommendation of a minor internet personality. I never really read that much specific romance genre books, but I got this and I was like, this is amazing! So I got it in, I think, 2018, and have read it. I think I physically read it 3 times, maybe 2.
Wow.
I also have the audiobook, so I listened to it when I got the audiobook, and then I've listened to it again while Cathy has been physically reading my copy of it. I guess my first question, actually, before we talk about that, what is your experience with the romance genre?
It's not a genre I read a lot of on its own. I do like, I kind of like the subdivision of romance genre where it tends to always be the same, but like a woman, disaster happens in a woman's life, she says, I'm not living this life anymore, I'm going to go to a small little quaint village somewhere and become a cupcake maker or a candle maker, or I'm going to knit some things.
Very Hallmark.
Yeah, very Hallmark. I like Hallmark romance because I quite like all the creative sides to it, and then a romance is like a side plot in that. So I like those romances, but I think I read very few books where the main plot point is will they, won't they, romance. So yeah, I don't read an awful lot of it.
I feel like The Hating Game is the romance is the plot, and I think, don't quote me on this because this is like a second word, but I think when this came out, nothing was really none of the romance genre was really in this vein. It was like a very fresh take on the genre. Again, don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, come and yell at me, that's fine. So I guess my first real question, now that we've covered your experience with romances, what did you think?
I think it was fun. Yeah, I think it was a fun, light-hearted romp.
Yeah.
And it very much knows what it is.
Yeah.
So like, this isn't a book that's going to change your life and isn't trying to change your life, but you go there to have a good time, have some fun. It's a cocktail of a book. Like,
love that.
Yeah. You're going there to have some fun. You're going to have some fun. Don't think too deeply.
That's fair.
I'm trying to say that without sounding dismissive. But like, yeah, if you really go and have a fun time, it's there. I think some parts of the ending I wanted a little bit more. Like, a main thrust of this story is like these two people falling in love. They're also after the same job. And as they're doing that, what's the girl called? Lucy kind of becomes more assertive as she's going through this process of going after this job, and she's realising that she's got some really good ideas to apply to her publishing company, and she wants to be more assertive. But the book ends before she gets the job.
Okay.
And I wanted to see her get the job.
Okay.
I wanted to see it in that life. And also I felt there's a side character, I think it's called David, who's like... Danny. Yeah, with a D, I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
He was like her potential suitor as like the alternative. And there was something like... I couldn't decide whether the book wanted us to see him as sinister or not. And again, he just kind of fizzled out to not... And I felt like he needed just like one more scene to round off what was going on with him. So yeah, I wanted a little bit more from the ending. But I guess if the romance is the main plot, that gets resolved.
Fair. As the romance is the plot, were you invested in Josh and Lucy? Did you think they should be a couple? Did you think they were a good couple? Etc, etc.
Yeah, I was invested. I wanted them to get together. I enjoyed them when they were fighting, and I enjoyed them when they were getting together, and I enjoyed them when they were cute. I'm not saying anybody else would enjoy being in a relationship with them, because they were quite petty and vindictive and a bit controlling, but petty, vindictive people exist, and if they find each other and make each other happy,
then they're not pushing themselves on anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of okay with that. So yeah, I really liked them as a couple. I think they had very good chemistry. So a lot of chemistry.
A lot of chemistry.
So yeah, I think there were a couple who you could enjoy being with.
Did you have a favourite bit of the book?
I loved all the office scenes. I really like the idea, the setting of the office, even though because this is a fun romance novel, like setting isn't as important perhaps as in other books, but actually the setting of this modern day publishing office with all the mirrored surfaces and then being very like cut off from the rest of the company, I thought was a really good setting and made some like really good dynamics for them to have this work-based rivalry where they're always trying to like just play petty little games with one another and wind each other up, and I mean it felt exaggerated and not real to life at all, but I really enjoyed that part. I found that a lot of fun.
Nice. Speaking of where it's set, this is not on my list of questions, but I am interested. When you read, do you like hear accents in your head?
No, but do you? Is that your actress drama side?
Do you know what? I've never really thought about it. I don't know. I must do. I'm not sure. Anyway.
But with settings on this one, so I got halfway through or partway through, and I think my initial assumption was this is London. We're set in London, it's a publishing house, she wants to go to the countryside and go to like her family's strawberry farm. All very felt English to me. And then I was like, but why should I be getting on a plane to go to a parent's strawberry farm? Because if you're in London, you're not going to fly to strawberry. Strawberry farm's going to be down south. Anyway, so I was like, look at her, she's Australian.
She is Australian, yeah.
It's like, oh, it makes more sense.
So I was going to ask you if you thought, I was going to see if you, like, there's no, like, specific... It's set here, like it's completely open to your own imagining. So I was just wondering what you thought.
Yeah, I thought London, and then I realised it can't be London. But then even when I had the knowledge that it was probably Australian, it was too late. They're London, and they have to fly to a strawberry farm if they want to go go to visit a strawberry farm.
Maybe the strawberry farm's in Ireland.
Maybe.
Do they have strawberry farms?
I don't know if there's strawberry farms in Ireland. Maybe.
Next question. What did you think of the Mindy twist?
That annoyed me, actually.
Ooh. Please explain why.
So the twist is that he's going to his brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's actually already... He used to go out with the bride. She dumped him for the brother. I feel like you could have guessed that was the case very early on, and I did. And it made no sense to me why he kept that a secret from Lucy. Especially because when they did all talk about it was like, oh, I only didn't tell you because I don't even really care about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if you didn't care...
Why didn't you
And she asked you several times,
Yeah.
there's something I don't know that's going on, you would have just told her. So that just felt like unnecessary miscommunication drama that...
Just to build up the drama.
That didn't convince... But the only thing that annoyed me was that he didn't tell her. If he had told her about it, I think you could have still gone through all that thing of like, I'm insecure about being dumped for a nice guy, competitiveness with my brother. She would have still behaved exactly the way she would have done. Because she you know, she wasn't going as his new girlfriend, right? She knew she was going to be his moral support. And if he said, oh yeah, I also need moral support because I used to date the bride and she dumped me for my brother.
Yeah.
Lucy wouldn't have changed an iota of what she did.
Next question. Would you recommend this book to anyone else? And if so, who? What would you say?
Okay.
You can say... I hated The Night Circus.
You did hate
You can say whatever you want.
No, it's more about how this reflects on me than the book.
Okay.
So, like, it gets quite spicy. And some of the spicy scenes last a whole chapter long. So, like, I don't read a lot of romance. And after a bit, I do feel a bit uncomfortable. I just feel a bit voyeuristic.
I'm going to jump in here and say, I knew that there was spiciness in the book, but I forgot how much there was. And as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, I can't believe I made Cathy read this. I cannot believe I made Cathy read this. Cathy, who's known me since I was like 6 years old.
That reaction, I would be cautious about recommending it to people because you say, I read this book, I loved it, I had so much fun time, and then they read that. It's hot. Other people have different reactions, and that's okay. But I personally feel a bit voyeuristic if I read a sex scene that goes on for too long and in too much detail. Part of me understands sometimes books are an escapist. So sometimes like you want to jump in a book and I want to fight the monsters and I want to eat the cake and I want to be surrounded by this comfy zone, but I really, really don't want to be in other people's sex scenes.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
I don't mind knowing that the characters are developing and their relationships are going on. I don't mind knowing that they're going through that journey, but I don't particularly want to walk through that part with them.
Yeah. Would you read another Sally Thorne novel?
Oh yeah, I think I probably would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think she's released 4. I own the first 3. I haven't read the third one, even though I got it, like I pre-ordered it. But I haven't bought the 4th one yet. My last question for you. What do you think is next for Lucy and Josh?
Ooh.
Past the story, what are your predictions?
So I think that they're going to stay together and be together for a long time. I think they're going to really enjoy working at rival companies. I think they're going to probably breach several working guidelines. And have a fierce competitiveness that then just like disintegrates the moment they walk through the door and then they're back home. There'll probably be a few big dramas in their life. Oh, and I don't... You know how, like, in the wedding scene, she just starts yelling at his dad? As if that's fixed.
Yeah.
Everything. That might be another scene that, like, is quite fun to watch, but I didn't quite believe it. So I feel like the family dramas will continue. And that will add to the spice of life, and I think they'll be really good comforts to one another. Okay. What did you think? Do you think they're going to have a happy ever after?
I don't remember what I thought, but in Sally Thorne's second novel, 99% Mine, which I've hidden behind this cushion, there is a little hating game epilogue at the end. So it's nothing major. It's just like a little sneak peek, however many years forward into their lives.
Really?
But yeah, if you read the hating game and haven't read 99% Mine and didn't know that there was an extra epilogue, I'm sure you can find a copy of it and read the projected future of Lucy and Josh.
Oh, that's cute.
There's also, this is just me talking about the hating game because I love it. There's a film that came out the other year.
I've seen the trailer for it.
I think it's a really good adaptation. I know some people don't agree. I love Austen's Josh. I think he's perfect. And however, there are some changes that I didn't necessarily understand. It's set at Christmas time, and like the whole wedding is a Christmas wedding. And I think maybe that was like a ploy to make it a Christmas film. Yeah. But I did watch it for the first time in like March or April. Also, they mess with the timeline a little bit. So in the book, oh, this is spoilers for the film. Sorry, everyone. In the book, they so Lucy overhears about Josh being like, I don't need any help beating her. Yeah. Because I'm not going to try. Yeah. She hears that before everything, but in the film, she hears it after the wedding. And so like they've already had their like dramatic moment, and I don't know. And I also feel like in the film, they have sex before the wedding instead of after the wedding. Oh.
Yeah, because in the book, it's quite a big thing. We're not having sex, we're not having sex. Now we're going to have a whole lot of sex.
Yeah. So, I don't know why they made those changes. I don't think they needed to make those changes. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. It's a good film. Some cute moments in it. It's a good rom-com, if you like rom-coms. And I love rom-coms.
I like rom-coms. They're really good fun. I don't know why. I do film format than book format most of the time. I don't know why that is. But yeah, sounds good. Why do you really like this book? What brings you back to it?
I just think it's fun. Like you said, it's fun. I have tried to read other romance books and I'm just a bit like, this is so cheesy. And I know that this is cheesy as well, but I feel like it's effortless cheese. Yeah. Whereas I think a lot of other romance books that I've tried to read are definitely trying too hard. Yeah. To like check all the boxes of tropes and things like that. Yeah. Whereas this is just, I just think Sally Thorne's a really talented writer. Yeah.
I think when this is cheesy, it knows it's cheesy.
Yeah.
And you have to go with it.
Yeah. Romance books, they're like, well, again, I don't read a lot of them, so I can't really say. But with other books, there's some morals and themes and great grand sweeping statements about humanity to think about. And this is just two people falling in love and enjoying it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep, but it's a lot of fun. And that's okay. Sometimes it's okay just to have fun with the book.
That's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed our chat about The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, one of my favourite books. Cathy enjoyed it. had fair criticisms.
Yeah, I feel like I had a good time. I'm glad I read it. It's not one of my favourites, but I had fun. I'm happy.
If you have anything to add to our conversation, leave them down in the comments, whether that's about the book, Sally Thorne's other novels, the film. Hit us with your thoughts.
Yes, please.
Remember to like and subscribe, and next time we do a Fanverse First Time Reader video, it will be my reading of The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield.
I'm excited about this one.
I think it's going to be very interesting. See you later.
Bye. If you hand... Oh, sorry, I'm eating hair. You just stop eating hair for a minute.
That's staying in. And I was like, I will read that because this is very good. And then I got it and I was like, ah! Anyway, right, let's do that again.
Mystery. We're going to mystery novels now.